Okay, right. Relaxed. Right. Very good morning, all of you. Everybody still outside? So hope you are reading your newspaper regularly. You're reading your magazines regularly. Hmm? So smiling. That implies not. Huh? సో మీరు చెప్పాల్సింది మీరు చెప్పండి సార్, మేము చేసేది మేము చేస్తా ఉంటారా? ఓకే, రైట్. Anyhow, the brief review always important, because simple reason is that this sort of knowledge you cannot acquire at one stroke, isn't it? It's a process, and simple way of remembering is repetition, revision as many times as possible with your eyes. Okay, that's what the glancing. So that should be done continuously, so that definitely whatever be the competition, lakhs and crores of competition, you will come out with a success. Okay, so go on with this, and at least when the for the current affairs part is concerned, listen to the news, read any one newspaper, any one magazine, a monthly magazine. That's sufficient for anyone. Okay, you not, okay, don't be what we call with more books, okay, on the same subject. Okay, now, so we're continuing this series. Let us say this: the current affairs, the important current affairs. So, how far the Russia-Ukraine war came, is going on or over? Hmm? Still on. Okay. So, the process, few computer related, especially the nukes or the missile related, may be again important. And one in this process, the Sarmat is very much in the news regarding the issue. So, what is this Sarmat? Hmm? It's the intercontinental ballistic missile. Generally, we call inter ICBM. We call intercontinental ballistic missile, crossed. Okay, one continent, not one. It is, so it is 6,000 kilometers range. Okay, the missile. So recently, the Russia successfully test launched this Sarmat. Okay, so this made us even to recollect what are the missiles of India. Okay, so number of times whenever the issues comes, immediately recollect. So what is our ICBM? Do we have ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missile? Yes, we have Agni. Agni is the intercontinental ballistic missile. Of course, Agni 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if 6 is still in the testing mode, if that be finalized, its range is 6,000 kilometers. Right now, 5 is the 5,000 kilometers we are. So that was test fired. Okay, and you know other missiles like our Prithvi, the medium range ballistic missile, then Akash, Trishul, Nag. Okay, so whenever these are all the missiles existing from long time. So our father of missiles who developed this core missiles program. Then later we are adding the missiles program. Who is the father of Indian missiles? Abdul Kalam. Where we launched the missiles, launching pad of missiles. This testing and everything will be done from Odisha, The specific reason, Chandipur district. Okay. What is the test range name? Wheeler Islands, named after Abdul Kalam. So these are the general questions regularly you will find. And this is how, when you are reading the newspaper of some other countries, the incident happened, try to recollect, because these things you are aware of it. Then that's how your revision should be done. Okay. Then so the other day news of the Hindu, all the newspapers, they talked about the Maldives relation. There's a program called India Out campaign. Okay, is that India Out? So it clearly says that it's against India. So this is some other country it is happening, isn't it? Why they are so much of against India? Okay, even the other day, the Boris, okay, Johnson, the Prime Minister of Britain, came to India, and he said, very wonderful, look, India is a close friend and all the things is concerned. So with number of countries we have very good relations, but when this India Out campaigns, Indians should not be in that country. So definitely one negatives perhaps, and competitive point of view you have to keep in mind. So which country is going on and why? Okay. So this in Maldives. Where is the Maldives? On the top of north of India or south of India, east of India, west of India? The south of India, the Indian Ocean. We'll find these islands. Okay. When India, all these, I mean, here, this, this is the islands. Okay. The Maldives. Well, so what is this campaign? Why this campaign? So this is not just the new, or it's not just happening today only. It's happening from long time, not too long. Why now in the news is the Maldivian government, present government, banned, right? So once it bans the India Out campaign, so present government looks like a very friendly, so it bans this campaign. As it is banned officially, so now again it's in the news. So what is this campaign? Why this protest from the people of Maldives? Who is launching this program? Of course, the opposition. Okay. Who is the Prime Minister of Maldives now? Or the President of Maldives, sorry. Ibrahim Mohammed. Yeah. Ibrahim Mohammed Soli was the present president, a friendly indeed. And previous president who bent towards China, and later in the elections there, the Soli take over, and that previous president now became opposition and is an Amin. So this Amin led program, okay, the protest it is. Okay. So they have their own progressive Congress coalition government is going on. What for this? Hmm? Why? Because the number of projects every country will develop in other countries also. Similarly, India is also doing certain programs over it. And present government don't want Indian presence. Okay. And mainly, even we have gifted the few helicopters. And once the gifted helicopters, as the Maldivians, they are not aware of these operations and everything, we send our Indians also there to help them out, isn't it? So they are asking this Indian helicopter should be given back, and these Indians who came here in the guise of helping Maldives, that's what their criticism is, that involving unnecessarily in internal issues of India and Maldives and everything. So they don't want them. So initially, it is an officials of India, the diplomats of India, the employees of India, whoever been, they should not be. So in the course of time, these programs, okay, the protest has taken in such a turn that no Indian should be in Maldives. Okay, so that's how a protest, the opposition moving forward, and present government banned this one. So it is an anti-national, against the national security of the country. So when you say this India, present government said India first. That means the first priority they'll give to India. So last time I briefed you, something, our policy is neighborhood first policy. As part of it, even in our budget, like every state government, we allocate the amount, we are allocating the budget for our neighboring countries, including Maldives. Isn't it? Whenever Maldives in problem, the India used to immediately come into the rescue. So when the 2 years back, I think when the Maldives faced even the water crisis, okay, drinking water, because in the midst of ocean it is, so it required drinking water. When its sole plant get affected, it's in India that immediately send the drinking water to the planes, later to the ships. Okay, at the time this, okay, I mean the president, okay, though he is bent toward China and everything against India, still the Indians made a humanitarian gesture over that. But still, okay, various political reasons. I mean, because now the re-elections are about to be, is leading the campaign, because unfortunately in India or other countries, emotional issues are playing very much in the election campaigns. Okay, so the issue. Anyhow, where it is and this and why. Okay, then another, the issue raised in this is India got elected for UN ECOSOC bodies. What is ECOSOC? Economic and Social Council. What is it is? Because again, because the school used to learn a lot those things, are the art students. So we have the United Nations, right? It has organs. How many organs? 6 organs. What are they? General Assembly, Security Council, Economic and Social Council, ICJ, Reform Secretariat, and Trusteeship Council. Okay, these are the 6 organs of the United Nations. So when United Nations was formed, 1945, when we celebrate UN Day every year, UN Day. Important GK question this is. United Nations Day. October 24th, every year we celebrate UN Day. Okay. How many countries in UN now? 193 countries. Where is the headquarters of UN? New York. Okay. Who is the present Secretary General? Options. Eh? Because there are questions always important and they are in the news. So this, no doubt you have to recollect. And last time when Russia, Ukraine war related, we discussed these 2 organs and as well as ICJ also. isn't it? They are the bodies which came into news at that point of time, because Security Council is the primary organ, right, wherein all the important decisions of UN was taken by it. That is something like our cabinet is an executive organ of UN. All the 15 countries, out of 15, 5 are permanent, 10 are non-permanent. Is it India is a permanent or non-permanent? Right now, non-permanent, only end of this year, right? After that, it won't be. It's the 8th time India became the member of UN Security Council as a non-permanent member. Now we are striving for reforms in Security Council, wanted to be a permanent member. So we don't know when it is going to happen. So Security Council failed to take the decision on Russia-Ukraine war because of veto power exercised by Russia. Then General Assembly tried to pass it and it passed it. But that is a resolution which is not, I mean, with that you cannot send UN forces against Russia. Then ICJ delivered the judgment against Russia, International Court of Justice. How many judges in that? ICJ, International Court of Justice, 15 judges. Where the headquarters? Netherlands, Hague, HAGUE. Hague is the headquarters. Again, the decision is not binding. Okay, no doubt ICJ will give it. It's up to the countries to finalize, I mean, adopt or not, to follow or not. And in this case, unfortunately, Russia has not adhered. So, like this, because they're all, whenever the issues arise, we discuss those issues. And this is the first time again regarding Economic and Social Council, we never discussed this. Simple reason is that this is an executive organ, this is the legislative organ, this is the judicial organ, ICJ. Okay. So when there's a legislature, executive, judicial organ, all this made. And what is this Economic and Social Council then? What sort of organ this? It too have some functions, right? This is the developmental organ of India. Okay. It's a developmental organ. It will take care of the developments of different countries with the help of specialized agencies. WHO, UNESCO, UNICEF. Okay. Like this, we have all specialized agencies. They are all under the umbrella of Economic and Social Council. Okay. It take care of the development. And 54 countries are the members of it. Okay. So India is already overall is a UN member. It is a Security Council member right now. By end of this year, it is going to be open. And ICJ, any Indian judge is there? Yes, right now. What's the name of Indian judge? Last time we discussed this. Andukone revision is important. Bandari is an Indian judge right now in ICJ. Okay. General Assembly, are we are in General Assembly? All UN members are members of General Assembly. So naturally we are the members of it. But Economic and Social Council, again, it's an elected. So now this time we are able to get into. And the secretariat is admin wing. Okay, this is an admin wing. Trusteeship Council is a caretaker. Okay, it's something like ఏమంటాం నర్సరీ కంటే కింద ఉంటుంది చూడది. వాట్ ఇస్ దట్? కింద నర్సరీ కంటే కూడా బిలో దిస్ నర్సరీ. ప్లే స్కూల్ అనేది అన్ని ఆల్ టుగెదర్ స్టార్టింగ్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్. Okay, so the children will be taken care. Get no education, nothing. They don't put in this concern. Okay, daycare. Okay, then the what is the term they use for the daycare? There's a specific term use చేస్తారు కదా, that's what I'm. Okay, anyhow, it will recollect that. So it's something like a care when no country is able to rule themselves, okay, on its own, and UN may adopt that countries develop that countries politically and economically, then grant independence to that country. So during the Second World period, we have the few countries like this, and UN adopted and developed them and granted all. In 1985, if I remember correctly, one the Palau, a small island nation in Pacific, got independence and finally they made it. Then after that, the trusteeship council is a functionless organ. And number of times, even when group 1, group 2, the question posed, which of the organ is the functionless organ? Redundant. Organ is there, but it's waiting for. Okay, next generation. So these are all the issues which you have to keep in mind so that LB. So in this bodies, total 18 bodies. So the 4 bodies to which India has been elected: the Committee on Economic, Social, Cultural Rights, Commission of Development, Committee on Organization, nothing but NGOs, Commission Science and Technology for Development. So where you will find, okay, the India, because different agencies under the ECSOC, it has been to elected, and that clearly shows how India actively playing a role in UN and its functioning. So descriptive part low, even you have to add these things as well. So how many countries in ECSOC? You have to remember. Then the full form: Economic and Social Council. Okay. Then they also the first 4-year term. Yeah. Right. Then another the term again use is of extradition. Of course, in this case, the Union Home Secretary informed Supreme Court that the government is by the commitment given to Portugal here. Okay. So once a person committed a crime in any country, he will be punished according to the laws of that country. But he was jumped from this country and been to another country, staying now. What to do? We have to get him from that country, whether it's whatever be the crimes, including the white collar crimes. Now Vijay Mallya and others, right? Everything going on. Recently, the Britain has extradited Assange from Britain to America. Okay, because he has taken shelter there. Now he was handed over to America. And now the British Prime Minister the other day assured that the Vijay Mallya and Lalit Modi, they too will be shortly handed over to India. So because of this issue, again the word extradition appears, and number of examination you got this question. What is extradition? Or they will give the complete meaning and ask if this implies that. Okay. What is an extradition? Now, by understanding that you are getting back the criminal. So it's a legal process, we call this. A person is transferred from one country to another without the person's consent is as usual, right? So once a criminal, okay, is whatever be the crimes related, staying in another country, India should have a treaty with that country. Then only it is possible to get that person back to India. Like this for every country. So that treaty of this transferring or exchange, not even in the note with exchange is concerned, okay, handing over, otherwise you can simply call it handing over of the criminal to the concerned country. We call that as simply the extradition. Okay. So there should be an agreement between one country and the another to hand over the criminal part. So that process, that legal process, we call as extradition. And because of number of issues are now, again, almost 4 or 5 years, the Indian government is struggling to get Vijay Mallya and others back, because every country has their own procedures, okay, and they will follow that procedure. So the British procedures are very strict comparatively. Okay. Last now, though, for example, Vijay Mallya stated that Indian prison conditions are not as standard as British, okay, courts are. So that means we have to, once we arrested and put him in Tihar jail, for example, so we have to keep him something in a 5-star hotel facility or something he is expecting. So even that is what the British, from getting the person from Britain a tougher job. Whereas just 2-3 years back, we got one criminal from Indonesia back to India to extradition. And again, that was in the news because of that movie, you might think that the Pushpa movie. Okay, what is the content in that smuggling of? Erachandana. Is concerned. And there is a notorious person who is there, Kapur Veerappan, how it will be like this. And one person called Subba Reddy, he was run away and take the shelter in Indonesia. And fortunately, we have extradition treaty with Indonesia. When the Indian government approached, okay, and able to caught him all the way, just within 30 days he was handed over back. So that's how some countries will do it very fastly, and their rules and regulations are minimum. Okay, whereas the countries like Britain, even to some extent India, America, Russia, getting back is a tough job indeed. Okay. Done. So these are the few international issues, and one the criminal issues. Okay, we are talking about. Recently, the Indian president has given assent to the Criminal Procedure Identification Act, and it was criticized at one point by many. Okay, as in the bill form it is concerned, it got the attention, okay, of definitely the competitive examination setters as well. So possibility of putting the questions, even it may be in the descriptive part also. Innumerable articles appeared in the newspaper. So here, criminal procedure identifying, okay, the procedure how to identify a person committed a crime or not. What are the proofs generally we used to take, right? For example, your photograph, your signature, your address, these are but natural. Can they take your blood samples, your DNA, okay, etc., without your consent? So right now, no. Simple reason is we have right to privacy. Okay. With that, whatever way you want, okay, with your consent only, you have to give that information to outside. That is one aspect. Apart from this right to privacy, there is one article in the Indian Constitution that is protecting you from any sort of force, even by authorities, to be a witness against yourself. Assume you have committed the crime. You simply say, you police, prove it. Why should I give? Okay, you murdered somebody. You are saying, yes, I murdered, but prove it. Where you murder, where is the body, how you, I will not disclose at all. Okay, or I will say I will not murder at all. You have to prove it. So finally, the police has to prove it. Okay, that is the present one. You are not supposed to be compelled to give proof against yourself. You cannot be a witness against yourself. But right now, this procedure is not unlike this. To undo that very fundamental right, that's a major criticism. Because of that, that become very important. What is that fundamental right? Okay, definitely there is a possibility where they are filing a case now against this once it become act. Right against exploitation. Huh? No. How many fundamental rights we have? There is గుర్తుంది కదా. What is mean by fundamental rights? Okay. Simply because you have to distinguish from other rights, civil rights, political rights, like this. Okay, we have legal rights, constitutional rights, no? Different things. So fundamental rights imply the rights that are recognized and guaranteed. Two words are there. One is recognition, another is guaranteed. By whom? By the constitution itself. Okay, one, the rights that are recognized and guaranteed by the constitution itself. So naturally the Supreme Court and or the High Court directly will take up this, isn't it? So if any fundamental rights violated, you can directly go to the Supreme Court, right? Under which article? 32, right? Under Article 32. What is that called? Constitutional remedies. Under constitutional remedies, yes, if the fundamental rights get affected, you can directly go to the Supreme Court under Article 32 and High Court under Article 226. Right? That is very clear. Then court will issue the writs, habeas corpus, mandamus, quo warranto. What are the two writs? Prohibition, certiorari. They are the 5 writs. Okay? Accordingly, they will issue it. So overall, in general, you have 6 fundamental rights. First one is right to equality. Second, right to freedom. Third, right against exploitation. Fourth, right to freedom of religion. Good. Fifth, cultural and educational rights. Sixth, constitutional remedies. This final. Now, you will not find this, right, anywhere? Where perhaps? Okay, I will not make the much time it is concerned. Article 20. What is in that? Okay. Is it a part of fundamental right, right? Of course, the part of which fundamental right out of 6? Second right. Okay. What is that second right? Name of it. Right to freedom. Okay. First one is right to equality. 14 to 18. 19 to 22 is right to freedom. Under this, freedom and a choice, right? Freedom is means the choice to decide. So under this 19, you have 6 freedoms. Freedom of speech and expression, freedom to move from one place to another, freedom to form associations, like this, right? And 20, okay, is also freedom, right? You have the choice. It's also choice, okay, but in a different way. Because mainly fundamental rights, the nature is negative. That implies state should not do certain things. It isn't it? It's protecting the individual's rights. From whom? From the authority of the state. There's the possibility that because state's authority, individual may get affected. So protecting the individual from state authority over excessive authority, this Article 20 was kept it up. 3 things in this. Article 20. Number one is it abolished in a way. Okay, you may say this. If this is, it abolished three things. It abolished double punishment. Punishment for single offense. You committed the crime once, so you should be punished once only. You should not be punished for twice. Okay. Once you committed a crime, and you have to be, of course, you are supposed to be punished, no doubt about it, but only for once, not twice. Okay, that's a very important thing. You can't be going on punishing and punishing. Okay, on this issue, or twice or thrice should not be punished. Double punish, abolish double punishment. That is one aspect. Second aspect is it abolished retrogative application of law. It abolished the retrogative application of law. Today the law was made. Only from today it is applicable, not for yesterday. You have to wear the mask, otherwise 1,500. Yesterday again we got that information. It is concerned. So yesterday, for example, you have not wear it, you are photographed, and today the rule came. You can't it be, right? This law applies from today only, not of yesterday. It should be a progressive, not retrogressive, not backward. Okay? All the, of course, benefits వేరు. ఇప్పుడు ఎంప్లాయీస్ ఉన్నారు, ఈ ఏమంటారు డిఏలు అవి సంథింగ్ దే విల్ గెట్ ద salary enhancements etc etc. Okay, ఇప్పుడు నా for example in the month of May or April they have given their salaries from January onwards. So benefits you may get it, or civil related, okay, application, but not relating to crimes, criminal related, no retrogression. Okay, and these two we have nothing to do with this civil procedure. Third and very important is that it abolished the self-incrimination. So self-incrimination means you cannot be a witness against yourself. Okay, you cannot be a witness against yourself. Okay, and best example, okay, pretty much the drugs cases are going on, right? So whether you have taken a drug, taking, even as per the present law, even if you are consuming the drug, that itself is a crime, apart from selling, facilitating, everything, whatever be their activity is concerned. Okay. Now, how we knows that you have taken the drug or not? Okay. Don't drink and drive అంటాడు, డ్రైవ్ చేసినప్పుడు పైప్ పెడతాడు, right? Then we can understand that whether thing is or not. Regarding drugs, is that sufficient? So a different procedures they will adopt. It will be in your blood samples, but once you have taken the drug, it will be there with you for 3 months, sometimes up to 6 months, by taking the sample of your hair. ఎంట్రుకలు ఏముంది అంటున్నా, ఎంట్రుకలు పేకలే అంటారు. If you just take one hair, okay, single part is concerned, and if you tested that, yes, even 3 months back, up to 3 months comfort, okay, definitely, but sometimes up to 6 months also, that is there. So once you consume, it has to be very careful. Okay, so it can be. Now the issue is, as per the present, the procedure code, yes, police can take your photograph, your signature, your address, proof, etc., but not more than that. They cannot force you, okay, to tell the truth, or to present before that. ఏమంటాం మిషన్స్, ఏమంటాం, ఓయ్ 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 అంటుంది చూడండి సినిమాలో, Huh? Whether you are telling the truth or not. Lying mission. Lying missions అంటాం కదా ఏం సినిమా అది పోకిరినా నాట్ దిస్ ఐ థింక్ సూపర్ సూపర్ ఓకే అరుస్తుంటుంది నౌ వితౌట్ యువర్ కన్సెంట్ యు ఆర్ నాట్ సపోజ్ okay lie detector test also yes with voluntary you have to be otherwise court have to grant otherwise no your DNA sample for example if you wanted to take it the court permission is required your permission is required without your permission they cannot like this your consent is essential that is what is protecting you from any arbitrary action of the government from any authoritative tendencies ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళంతే కదా భయపెడతారు and this was used when the drugs case last time cinema heroes heroines అందరు కూడా they was called on 3 years అయిందా Puri Jagannath others right 3 years అయిపోయినట్టుంది okay 2 years అయింది back it is and this article at that time number of competitive examination came because this was used by the charmy the heroine వీళ్ళు this directors heroes they was interrogating every day one by one it came to the turn of the charmy then she identified that they are interrogating for hours together even the midnight is going on so one case that being the woman should be only during office hours and that too by the women interrogative officers also should present that is one also everybody accept that is not an issue and it's also come to know that these persons who are called for not for interrogation just for knowing the information about some of the suppliers and everything is concerned something like a witnesses and they started taking the samples okay so protest did but still they had taken the samples so when her turn comes just a day before she filed a case in the high court under this article okay and high court granted this yes without the consent of her you are not supposed to take any samples okay and that's how again this article was very much in the news and now this civil procedure amendment act they're making again this article is in question so how can we now the government with this amendment process without your consent can take this sample can take your other every details of yours otherwise recalled okay not only your details even your parental details your children's details okay and your entire the body part your okay your total system details right it can then how is that without your consent okay so this directly going against the very article 20 clause c okay abc అంటాం then another is going against your right to privacy as right to privacy now become a fundamental rights under which article it become a fundamental rights no Shamdev super lying okay good good Sham okay recollecting the thing now under which article right to privacy became a fundamental right under right to life which article 21 article 21 is going to the right no person shall be deprived of his life and personal liberty except according to the procedure established by law single line that's it but this is that one that is coming to rescue of each and every individual whenever there is a high-handedness or arbitrariness unreasonableness from the government point of view so under it you got the right to privacy as fundamental right which case Puttuswamy case antam okay Puttuswamy was a retired high court judge he filed the case against so Aadhaar case antam popularly called okay so in that case it declared right to privacy so definitely because now your consent is required. Now Aadhaar card should be there. It's up to me to take Aadhaar card or not. You cannot force it. That is one thing. And secondly, to give the number, sharing number, again option right now. Okay, though number of government program, this program availability, exemptions, even the court started giving exemptions. Okay, so in the course of time, it looks like it's become more authoritative rather than any other cards. But still, you have the option to give or not to give the entire details and your number vis-a-vis the Aadhaar is concerned. So it's against that as well. Okay, so these two we have to wait and see once the case was filed in the court what is going to happen. So recollect those aspects into the issue. Okay. Any doubt? Done. There another, because governmental schemes which are put recently, there is one day scheme. The full forms is very important and it's very relevant for you as well. Dr. Ambedkar, the B.R. Ambedkar's Centers of Excellence. So DA stands for, right, Dr. Ambedkar. BR, this is okay. Dr. Ambedkar Centers of Excellence. So what for this? So to provide, because this is a pan India level, to provide free coaching all over India. Okay, free coaching facilities to the, right now they made it to the scheduled caste. In the course of time, it may be extended to the scheduled tribes as well as the OBC. That's what the government said. Maybe a different program they may give it up. And under this, 100 seats were sanctioned for each university. In the university premises, they are going to be conducted. So under each center, under each days, 100 seats, out of which 1/3 for women too, they are given in this. And 75,000 per annum the government is spending on the students' part. So under this program. So right now it was assigned to, initiated from the Banaras Hindu University, then extended to all other universities in India. So they are taking universities as the basis and going to conduct. So the full form of days, okay, then the purpose. So overall, they are planning for in 31, okay, central universities. So once this is the part and parcel of helping the fellow brethren, that will come under social justice. So here the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment will take care of this program. Okay. So days choose control. Then another first, whenever the first implies, you have to keep in mind first green hydrogen plant commission. Okay. So commissioned in Jorhat. Where is the Jorhat? State is in Assam. Of course, this is simply what exactly that means. The plant produces green hydrogen from the electricity generated by the existing 500 kW solar plant using 100 kW anion exchange membrane Okay, electrode array. So you are using this because మీకు ఈ science and technology ఉంటుంది again. So there too, how or what is the process of this? To know this, advisable to aware of this one. Just a minute. Okay, right, back to the space tech framework was launched on Metaverse. Why again? This is very much with a simple reason is that the event was held on Metaverse and was the country's first ever official event hosted in the virtual reality space, of course. So because of this, whenever all this fuss, you have to keep in mind where it is and which state it are. Then one more thing, from the government side announced the visas for Ayush. What is this Ayush? Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, the Siddha and H Homeo. So all is the part and parcel of the treatments, okay, of India in India. So Indian ethos it reflects. So Indian heritage and culture. Okay. Which Veda is talking about all those? Health related Veda is huh? Dharvana Veda. Sure? ఏదో ఒకటి చెప్పేస్తున్నా. Okay. సరే. Okay. So because health tourism as part of it, let us attract the foreigners from other country so that you can attract people to contact. So the program they are launching is Heal in India. ఇది మనకి మీకు important the bit. What is this Heal in India program? అని అడుగుతారు. So Heal in India అన్నప్పుడు now you are encouraging the foreigners to come to India and take the treatment in India. So we have all facilities, hospitals are here. So generally we are now calling them the wellness centers. Go to wellness centers and gym ఇవే ఉండే. Now everything is we calling as the wellness center. So let you take, and main aspect is apart from this regular okay hospitals, Apollo అనుకోండి for example, they are giving the 50% concession for the foreigners. మనకి ఇవ్వరు. Okay, even the foreigners వచ్చేస్తారు పాకిస్తాన్ వాళ్ళు ఇచ్చినా కూడా 50% కన్సెషన్ ఫీజులో ఇచ్చేస్తారు. Okay, that's a part of their policy to encourage it, but it's not the case with this. But now the government wanted to encourage this traditional medicinal treatment. Okay, they want to encourage this. So for that, they're making this separate program Heal in India. So it was inaugurated the Global Ayush Investment and Innovation Summit recently జరిగింది. Global Ayush Investment and Innovation Summit. This is held in Gandhinagar. Okay. where it was announced. Of course, here the WHO, World Health Organization Director General, also presented. Who is the present Director General of WHO? ఇక్కడే ఉంది కదంటారా, టెడ్రోస్ గెబ్రియాసిస్, and of course Mauritian Prime Minister to present. నేను కాదనలేదు కదా, కాదంటే అప్పుడే చెప్పాను కదా ఇస్ రాంగ్ అని. క్యాజువల్గా అడిగాను, గెస్ట్ చేసి చెప్తున్నావా నిజంగానే చెప్తున్నావా? రాంగ్ అయితే ఎమ్మటే చెప్పేస్తాను, చెక్ ఇట్. ఓకే, రైట్. సో heal in India, this is a program which you have to keep in mind. Then one more thing very much in this, the other day celebrated the Earth Day. Every year we are celebrating the Earth Day. So first observed, if at all, because it is 1970 itself. So at this time, it's advisable to recollect few important things relating to, because number of summits are going to be held, how to save Earth from the pollution, okay, from environmental pollution, all different degradations all the way. And recently a conference of parties was held in, okay, Glasgow, London, okay, the UK. So India set the targets, India's commitments, quick recollection, because these are all we discussed, but still you can remember this. Target to be achieved by 2020. What are the targets to be achieved by 2030? Why we 2030? Sustainable developmental goals, okay, 15 to 30. Sustainable development goals are developed and executed by who is doing this? United Nations. Is the United Nations proposal, okay, a commitment, right there. So a non-fossil capacity to 500 gigawatts, 50% of its energy requirements are from renewable energy right now. Now we wanted to increase that even further, okay. Then reduce the total projects of carbon emissions by 1 million tons. And most important thing is net zero. So when India is going to be achieved by 2070, our target. Actually, most of the countries supposed to be 2050, but we opted for 2070. So in this context, you are also advised to other days, like Worldwide Day, 3rd March, Water Day, 22nd March, Earth Hour, okay, okay, every last Saturday of the March, okay, whenever that comes, Earth Hour. And there's also number of competitive examination, they pose this question, because you are taking different steps to protect the earth. Then Biodiversity Day, 22nd May. Of course, environmental is very important, 5th June. Ocean Day also, 8th June. So once you are able to recollect these days, okay, also. Then when you say the COP, it is something the Paris Agreement, again to recollect at that point of time, because it need not be much. So nationally determined contribution, just now those points, if you keep in mind, is enough for this, okay. And for the mains point of view, because this is given, the earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs but not every man's greed. This question directly appeared 2 years back in civil services mains in paper 4, okay. So descriptive question, so you have to explain in terms as well. Then of course, when this first day, the, and the theme of 2022, you have to keep in mind, అంటే మిగిలిన అవసరం లేదు కానీ ఇన్వెస్ట్ ఇన్ అవర్ ప్లానెట్. Invest in our planet is the theme. Okay, present one if you keep in mind is enough. Right, then in addition to, recently the government is promoting very much these electric vehicles. Of course we are getting scared also, keeping you few accident here and there, but whoever handling take the precautions. Okay, and the general perception is that you are charging too much. Okay, because continuous charging and everything, that itself is getting affected. Then there are sometimes no very faulty also there, so you have to be take care of that. So there's a scheme Ujala, from darkness to light, where is affordable LED bulbs, and right now the government stated that 36.8 crore affordable LED bulb distributed. So this is what the government claimed on this one. And plus this program of FAME, full form of the FAME is important from your competitive point of view. Faster adoption and manufacturing of electric vehicles. So you have to manufacture as quick as possible. So this faster adoption and manufacturing of electric vehicles. So government is giving a lot of incentives for them also. So right now the charging stations, they are going ahead. Then regarding renewable energy, the government stated 344% increase in renewable energy installed capacity since 2014. As the governmental figure, the present government came to power, the BJP-led government in 2014. At that time and now comparatively, the government projected, because the keeping you there today, it is all the government issued the statistics. I am just presenting before you nothing. So even the ministry said is the data as on 31st December 2021, and the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, okay, they presented this data. So for your science and technology, for your economics, okay, these are information is important for you. And 40% of the installed capacity from non-fossil sources, and renewable energy part is concerned 450. Okay, installed capacity by 2030. Okay, of course here this, and net zero, which we already discussed, by 2070 we wanted to achieve this, the program. So once whatever be this government related issues comes, always advisable. ఇప్పుడు మనకి కాంపిటేటివ్ ఎగ్జామ్ అంటే చాలు, refer the PIB అంటాం, press information bureau is information, and most of the competitive examination they will take that as a source, because that is an authoritative source of getting information. ఇప్పుడు అన్ని sites everybody is taking the PIB and getting into that. So మీరు డైరెక్ట్ చూడకపోయినా you are getting that information from the PIB for all the magazines. Okay. Then similarly, the government issued regarding the forest cover, top performing states in forest cover. So it looks like Mizoram with 84.53%. Then a top Kunda, yeah. Then Meghalaya, followed by Nagaland. Okay. Overall, they said 17 states and UTs have above 33%. This 33%, they are keeping the benchmark. That means minimum that should be. So that if less than that, they need to strive for that. Okay, optimum level. Only 17. That means still other states and union territories, they have to take the steps to increase this forest cover. And Andhra Pradesh, Telangana in two areas also in the news. So top performing states for forest cover. What do you mean by top performing states? Now they are increasing the forest cover. Last year and this year, how much increase? Before year, that's one. So keep in that mind, this is, so Andhra they increased to 647 square kilometers, Telangana to 632 kilometers. Meri TS AP unnai kabatti advisable to remember the statistics. Okay. Then this is overall increase of the forest cover. Then regarding Telangana, recently on award, the Hyderabad on tree cities of the world is second year. And I see this is all the award is concerned. Hyderabad city is recognized for the second consecutive year among the tree cities of the world, not by India itself is concerned. So Hyderabad is a tree city. So 2021 as well as now 2022. So because of this, advisable to make it up. Okay. Then, so after today, another also we may recognize recently the World Health Heritage Day was celebrated this week only, April 18. What is the heritage? And yeah, 2022 theme ఇక్కడ ఉంది సార్. Heritage and climate is the 2022 theme. World Heritage Day theme. So it is a United Nations specialized agency called as UNESCO that recognizes a particular place will be listed under heritage or not. So innumerable parameters they will follow and finally do so. What is the full form of UNESCO? United Nations. E stands for educational, C for scientific, cultural organization. Okay. So protecting culture and heritage is very important. Even for individual too, this is one of the fundamental rights we have, right? Cultural and educational rights, wherein the minorities can protect and preserve their culture and heritage, and they can take steps accordingly. Which article? 29 and 30. Okay, right. So, of course, there's an individual level. There's at the national level, the whole heritage buildings. Okay, all the way. So, the other day, once we passing, and now the secretariat is going on. Actually, they thought of secretariat should be at Eramanjal here. And some have been to the port. How is that you are demolished the such a old building once upon a time? So it is listed under our heritage. Of course, UNESCO has not done this one. It is so it's an important issue. How many sites in India are heritage sites? 40? Sure. ఇక్కడే ఉంది కదండి కనపడుతుందో లేదో మీకు అనుకుంటున్నాం అండ్ 2021 listed most recent list is Dholavira 2021. So in Telangana we have only one, where Ramappa recently, that was 2020 లో, right? Ramappa temple recognized. ఆంధ్రాలో ప్రస్తుతానికి ఏం కనపడలేదు. Okay, it's not there. So overall 40. Which state you have more? మనకు ఎస్ఎస్సి స్టాఫ్ సెలక్షన్ కమిషన్ ఎగ్జామ్ అడిగారు, అందువల్ల ఐ జస్ట్ థాట్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ వన్. రాజస్థాన్, గుజరాత్ లో 4 ఉన్నాయి, మహారాష్ట్ర 5. సో మోర్ దెన్ ఎనీథింగ్ ఎల్స్ మహారాష్ట్ర, ఆల్ ఎల్స్ is 1 2 1 2 లే కదా. Maharashtra, you have maximum right now. So Andhra Pradesh lo we don't have anything else. Top lo kuda, okay, Jammu and Kashmir or Ladakh we don't have right now. Okay, Punjab, Haryana kuda ledu. So other things, Delhi 3, Uttar Pradesh 3, all we have this one. Sikkim kuda okati undi. Right. Then one more day related to Civil Service Day only. Okay, every year you celebrate April 21st as Civil Services Day. Then regarding appointments, the new army chief, we are going to get it, Lieutenant General Manoj Pandey is going to be the new chief of the army. Who is the present chief? Nirvane was the present and he is about to retire. So the Pandey is going to be the new chief. So few months back we lost our chief of defense staff Rawat, and who has taken over that position? As of now, officially it has not, and most probably we have to wait and see whether Nirvane may take over. Okay. Then Guru Tej Bahadur Reem recently in the news because of the 400th Prakash Purab of Guru Singh. Okay. So on 21st only the celebrations was done. So Guru Tej Bahadur was the 9th Sikh Guru. Who is the 10th? Guru Gobind Singh. Right. And it is he who built the city of Anandapur Sahib. And he was executed by Aurangzeb. So history baane gurtundi meeku mutana. Right, good enough. So this sort of things, once it is possibility of asking questions. Like one of the economy bits, the parliamentary panel and MSc Finances recently has made it, and they revised the definition of MNC. What is MSME means? Full form? Medium and small, right? So how much investment once you made it treated, okay, classification was done and revised now. So micro, these are revised. This is an earlier, now this is revised. So you have to keep in mind the revised investments. Before 25, now it make it to 1 crore and turnover of 5 crores. Okay. For the small investment, 10 crores, and for the medium is the 20 crores, and they added a turnover also. Previously there no concept of turnover here. Now they included this concept of turnover. Okay. So మీకు ఈ ఎకానమీ సెక్షన్ లో వచ్చేస్తుంది. So advisable to make the recent statistics. ఇవన్నీ మీకు ఆ PIB information. Then one more thing regarding our defense related, INS Wakshare. Okay, is in the news. So this is the 6th and last of the French Scorpion class for their submarines. Okay, so this was finally launched recently. So what are the previous 5? You have Kalvari, that's back in 2017. Then Kanderi, Wagir, INS Khanaj, then INS Vela. So all these things, anyhow, which of the following is true, false, are relating to ante tappa. But presently, remember this work share. Okay. Okay. So this is of today's. Any doubts, clarifications? Right. Okay. So thank you very much. So see you next week. Bye.